All righty, here's the final try. We're trying one more time. Welcome to Wine Wednesday on Thursday. So sorry, guys, that it's taking me such a long time to get this right. Um, but anyhow, so today, first of all, for the wine, right? I don't know why I keep getting nervous, but I will not let this live thing beat me. I just will not. But for the wine today, I took Lucy's advice and went out and got some French wines. And I got this Bordeaux. And as you can see, it's almost gone because I'm typically a sweet wine drinker. I like the sweet stuff. But I found out, as I told you guys in my last live attempt, that I'm really digging like olives with the dark reds, with the dry reds. Um, I really like it. And this particular wine, oh, I should have told you what it was, huh? Rue de Pearl, I can't say it correctly, but Rue de Pearl. And it's 2016. It's not like a great French wine. Sorry, Lucy, if I've disappointed you terribly, but it's French, kind of. And I really, really, really like it with olives. So, and I won't eat in front of you. But to start off tonight, basically, just to let you guys know what I'm trying to do here again. What I'm trying to do is, first of all, get feedback from you guys and find out about, I want to learn more about wine. So that's the wine part. And I'm hoping that eventually that people will get, involved and we'll all grab our glasses of wine and get together on Wednesdays. Sorry, trying to fix this. And the stupid green screen will also be gone soon. That's so dumb. But um, so I'm gonna come on Wednesdays and kind of just sit and talk. And if people join, um, then I will bring topics to talk about that people can watch later or whatever, just like a video, except for I'm putting myself on the spot. And if somebody comes and has something else they want to talk about, we'll switch to that. I'll actually be having people, let me start over. I'm starting my reef series on YouTube this week. Actually, when we get done here, I will be starting that. And with the reef series, I'm going to have a lot of people that I get up here with me and do interviews and try to be help newcomers and things like that. But so we're gonna start that, and on Wine Wednesday also, I'll try to have people on with me if I can figure it out with this stupid live thing, and it might end up being videos. I don't know. We'll see, but hopefully it can be something that we can just come together, be kind of like talk about whatever we want, and you know relax after the week because it sucks. It's in the middle of the week, so middle of the week break. I guess I should have said. All right. I'm going to move forward. Okay. So, my correction for my last live broadcast. I am trying to show new seahorse keepers how to acclimate in quarantine and all of the steps that I personally take with new seahorses. So that because I get these questions quite a bit. And so I can see that someone's here, but I'm not even sure how to see the chat. So whoever's here, say hi so I can see if I can figure out how to see that. Um, like I can say hi. I hope that's the chat. I don't know, but I'll try to. Hi. Okay, great. All right, now I know it's working. All right. So anyhow, I'm trying to show a new seahorse see show a new seahorse keeper how to take those first week's first steps and kind of show them quarantine acclimation and such. And the one thing that I should have been extremely clear about, and I was not, is that when you're looking at acclimating, whether it be a coral, whether it be a seahorse, anything and everything, first of all, it does make a difference whether or not they are shipped or whether they are picked up. And I, a, a lot of times when I do things, I try to accommodate everybody. and try to cover too much. You guys know I ramble. So I try to cover too much and I end up missing important things. And the really important thing that I should have said is that anytime you are acclimating, oh, I just saw how bad my hair looks. Sorry. Guess it's not for goal. I don't have hair goals tonight. Sorry, guys. But the most important thing when you are looking at acclimating something new to your tank, period, is to follow the instructions provided. And I did not show you guys that. I did not mention it. And that was a big mistake on my part. And on the Seahorse Source acclimation instructions, it very clearly says, do not open the bags. And so as I was doing the live feed, I kept saying, and I'm not going to open the bag, but I didn't really explain it. It has to do with ammonia poisoning. It has to do with the changes that happen in the water when a bag's in shipping. Anyhow, so it says very clearly, do not open the bag and allow the temperature to equalize before opening. So you temp acclimate and then you float the bag for 20 minutes and then put it in directly into the quarantine tank. There should have been no cup. There should have been no drip acclimation. I was trying to do too much. It happens. So the reasons that you want to follow the guidelines that are provided by the seller are number one, because there are different shipping methods. So if they use different things during shipping, ammonia neutralizer, or maybe live algae, I don't know. They just have different shipping methods, and their acclimation instructions are based on the shipping methods. So you need to follow them, because you could end up doing more damage to the fish, coral, etc., if you try to do it your own way or the way that Joe Schmo or even Kelly told you to. Follow the instructions provided. The number two reason is because you might forfeit any kind of warranty or guarantee, not warranty, guarantee. Like if they, like for instance, Live Aquaria, you order from Live Aquaria, they've got a 14-day guarantee, I do believe. And some of the bigger online vendors do. But if you call them up and you tell them that you need help because there's a problem with whatever it is, and they find out that you did not acclimate according to their instructions, you may have forfeited any kind of refund, replacement, or help. And I know that with the breeders and with most good vendors, they'll still help you, of course. But it's just a better idea. Bottom line, follow the instructions. That's what I should have said. And I wish I had. And so, let's see. And so, upcoming, basically, I think I think I might have did this wrong, because I know that at least Mari was going to come say hi, and I don't see anybody. So I'm just kind of talking to myself. Hopefully Wednesday, if I get there on time and do it right, it'll be better. But we're going to keep going. So again, in this upcoming week, I will be doing the quarantine procedures and also showing the steps that I take with new seahorses. And of course, starting the reef series. So lots of things coming up. I have not forgot that Mark requested a vacation, how to take a vacation with seahorses. And Alyssa actually asked me to do something about flow. So I'm working on all of these things. I promise, promise, promise. Where's my wine? It's a lot. But if someone was here, then I could talk about whatever you want to talk about, which is what I'm hoping is to chat and stuff. But since nobody's here, I'm going to talk about quarantine, because I'm having a lot of bleh. When I started doing the live stream, I started to talk about quarantine. And I was already feeling funny because I knew I was let me start over. I want to know if the way that you do things, whether you're talking about quarantine, whether you're talking about the way that you keep your reef, whether you're talking about the way that you keep your seahorses, I want to know how it's changed for you. Because it's been actually harder than I thought to go back and try to help people that ask questions or show people how to do things because I realize now that I do things so much differently. And um and so, if I go and start doing a quarantine video and start telling them to do the things that I do, I might go a little overboard and get beyond what I meant to get. So I'm just curious how much your methods have changed over time. And I was hoping to have people to talk with about this, but nobody's here. This is sucking. Yeah, live might not be the way to go. But, anyways, the other thing that I was going to try to talk about was um, what's your motivation? What is your, because, you see all of this negative stuff online. You see all of these. I think the people that are in the reef hobby are so passionate. I mean, it's a passionate hobby. It's it takes people who really have that ambition to succeed, to stay in it. You see people leaving the hobby constantly, and I know that there are people that I've met what through these groups, through Facebook, through online, in real shows that I like really care about. Like I care about these people. And there's also people that I would really like to punch in the face if I ever meet them. So it's like this passionate, there's this, the people in the hobby are so passionate. And I just wonder if that has something to do with it because I was thinking the other day about why I keep going, why I keep my reef up because I'm more into seahorses now, as most people know. And there's just there's been multiple times that I've thought about taking my reef tank down. And it's so pretty and just I go in there and I just can't do it. I cannot take it down. And I was trying to figure out why. And I started to realize that I think that it's because of that feeling of, oh, I can't even think of the word now. That feeling of accomplishment. It's that I had so many problems when I first started my reef. That's why I do these videos for seahorse keepers. That's why I do these videos. I'm going to start doing videos for reef keepers. Is because I remember it was so hard to start up and I had so a problem after issue. And then you finally get to this point where it's working and it's running and it's functioning well and you don't have to do as much and it looks pretty and things are growing and you figured it out and then something changes. And then something grows too big or there's too much something. I mean, something changes. Even if you don't add things, even, it's an ever changing cycling thing. So to master that, and I don't think anybody really masters that. Masters is a bad word. But to overcome the hurdles, to constantly um Michigan fan says, "I did a water change and I threw out my old water, and you had an acro in the bucket and left it outside for 3 hours." Jeez. Did it survive? Oh, you just did it. Ugh, an acro? Hmm. You know, well, what have you done with it since? When you figured out you brought it in, what'd you do? Well, I'll wait for your answer. I'm gonna keep rambling while I wait for your answer, but I that's a good point. I've made huge mistakes too, just like that. I have, oh, let's see. I've never left an acro in a bucket. Oh my gosh, I have left an anemone. I sure did. A rock flower anemone. Don't tell Collie because because she sent it to me. And after I went through putting everything into my different quarantine tanks and into my tanks, I put the anemone bag down into my sump to temperature acclimate while I was dealing with everything else, and I forgot about it. And literally, I applaud you for figuring it out in 3 hours, Michigan fan, because I didn't figure it out for, like, a week. Literally, it sat in a bag for a week, and amazingly, it's fine. So, I'm hoping you're gonna be okay. I know that most people that's exactly yeah. I would say if you had a quarantine tank, put it in quarantine or put it in the sump, exactly. Um, just watch it. You don't want anything, if it has any problems, you wanna make sure it doesn't affect the tank, but absolutely, because that's what I had done, and I just forgot about it. And so, yeah, I've been there, and I don't feel too bad because we all make mistakes. And, it sucks to lose things. Hey, you know what? Like I said, that's the entire point is we all make mistakes and we keep making them. That's I think that I started off talking when I first started off talking, it was about quarantining and how my methods of reef keeping, seahorse keeping, quarantining, every single thing that I do is different than when I first started. I just do things differently because as I've learned through experience and, from my mentors and so on and so forth, I've changed the way that I do things. And so it's really hard to go back. Like if you said that to somebody else, they might, agree with you. And I don't. I don't agree with you. You're not an idiot because I still do those things all the time. The anemone story was literally like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I left a new anemone in my sump for a week. And I'll show you a picture later. It's fine. But yeah, we all make mistakes. And I think that it's really awesome that we're in a hobby where people help each other and try to help each other figure things out. But I'm just curious if anybody else feels that way. If anybody else feels like um, they've changed the way they do things based on their own experiences, not just, it's great that I'm gonna try to provide videos. It's great that there are tons of videos already out there. It's great that there's articles out there, but really, um, getting started on the right foot makes a huge difference. But those learning curves are huge. That's how you learn. I bet you will never ever leave an acro in a bucket outside again because you'll learn from it. So, and I was just thinking, but frankly, I've been thinking about taking my reef down and I decided not to, don't worry. But it's just that it is that sense of accomplishment. It's that sense of, even when things go wrong, I'm able to find people that will help me fix them. That's an amazing thing. And then when I do fix things, it's this tremendous sense of accomplishment that I just can't even describe unless you're also a reef keeper and understand it. So, thank you for coming, Michigan fan also. Um yeah, exactly. And I mean, you do learn from mistakes. That is how we learn. I mean, what else do you expect? But anyways, I'm kind of drawing a blank here. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully if I get thank you for coming and joining me tonight, Michigan fan, because hopefully once I get this going and more people come, then we'll have a conversation going and I won't just be sitting here talking to a camera or to you. Not that I don't enjoy talking to you, but um, you know, I don't know. Um, hey, as long as the seahorses are good, then we're good. Did you get to see my new seahorses from that I showed the other day? Have you seen them yet? Well, if you haven't, I don't know if there's a delay or what, but if you haven't, I will be posting updates because they're doing very well and they did eat right away. I get a lot of questions about how to get a seahorse eating at first, so I tape the whole thing and I will share it, of course. And so here in a second, I'm going to heck yeah, they're sweet. Piebald seahorses. Yeah, I've never had any like that before, so I'm really excited. But here in a second, I'm gonna have my daughter pick the winner to the big Copepod contest. And whenever the winner does see this, I need full name, address, email, etc. Or I can forward you the information on where to send it if you'd prefer that way. But we want to get you your winning pods. So definitely contact me once we pick the winner. I'm gonna let my daughter pick it because I don't have any fancy machines to pick it for me, so I'm gonna let my daughter pick the winner. She doesn't know any of you, so she'll just pick somebody in general, and, that'll be the winner. Cheers. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say that now that I've figured out actually, really cool thing, I had so much trouble going live, and I was actually literally looking at different ways to go live. And I'll be darned if I didn't open YouTube to a big advertisement to how they now let you go live without the encoder and so on and so forth. Now, I don't know why I say so on and so forth so much, but um I'm not sure. I have to investigate a little further. I have to figure out how to, like bring other people in to the conversation other than just chat because I really want to make this not just me. This is not it's not going to be this boring always. Hopefully it's going to be more fun. Um, if people get involved, it'll be more fun. But I have to investigate further, but I was really excited to see that I didn't have to have some special equipment unless I wanted to. So, really cool. So now I'm able to do this. So now I will actually advertise it and try to get people to come. And if you guys have any, when you see this and you see me struggling up here, if you have any topics that air bubble diseases, actually, I think I have an old video up there on, past bubble disease, but it's old. You're right. I need to do a new one. You're absolutely right. And there's really good information on Seahorse Source's website, about emphysema and GBD and so on and so forth. But I will definitely try to do a video about GBD. The problem with GBD, honestly, is that we don't know enough. I mean, I say we, nobody knows enough. They haven't done enough studies on it. Um, I personally have had one seahorse that had issues with it. I know many, many people do. I was convinced when I made my first video, if you do watch the first video, which I'll link in the description, but I was convinced that it was a dirty tank kind of thing. Because when my seahorse had trouble, it was because my skimmer had broken and I didn't fix it right away. Good evening, my opinion. Hi. I'm up here kind of rambling. Um, and I'll try to ask I just got through asking all my reef questions, but I'll try to talk some more. Anyhow, with gas bubble disease, we don't really nobody knows enough. They haven't done enough studies. So I can get up there, like in my first video, I got up there and I showed, what I thought were the reasons that it cause it and the ways that I fixed it. Um, but I think the problem with GBD is that we just don't have enough information. I did it. Okay, Michigan fan, I'm curious what you did. You said that your seahorse lived but was unable to have babies, and I'm assuming that you mean that you had pouch emphysema, because there's also the bubbles that the seahorse will get on the tail. Um, and again, I thought it was because the tank was not clean enough. In my case, anyways, because my skimmer broke, and a skimmer is so essential to a seahorse tank. But I've heard stories where a seahorse will get GBD and there's just no rhyme or reason, and it could just be so many things. So I'll try to do another video, but um, that's something honestly when it comes honestly, I can give guidelines on seahorse keeping. I am going to start the reef series and I'm going to give guidelines on reef keeping. I'm going to interview people that know way more than me, to help. And I'm going to, try to do live things like this so that we can talk and get different opinions and approaches and so on and so forth. But, oh, I hate that I say that so much. I've got to stop saying that. Um, oh, I just lost my train of thought. Hi, Coral Vids. I'm up here kind of rambling, testing this out. I forgot. I completely lost my train of thought. I'll just be honest. But oh yes, I was saying that I can do these videos to try to help. You put a needle in the pouch and the bubbles came out. Right. The well, not hopefully not needle. Hopefully you didn't mean needle. Catheter. Right. Anyways, either way, yes, you get the bubbles to come out, and I should not say this, but I personally think that that's, when that's the case, like the fact that he didn't have babies again, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think that's a bacterial thing. Heck yeah, I'm going to Magna. Who are you kidding? I will be there. I've got my tickets. Yes, I will be at Magna. Absolutely. And teach people about at Magna? No. No, I don't have that. I'm not that good. But um yeah, Michigan fan, I'm trying to go back and forth, sorry guys, but Michigan fan, I had to also. My seahorse that had GDPD was reinfected down the line, and I honestly am coming to the point where I think there are just some seahorses that uh are problematic, or maybe the way they were brought up. I've learned so much since I started making videos, and started keeping seahorses and coral. Trying to make this about coral too. Oh, okay. Hang on, coral bits. But I think that sometimes there are just I've learned so much, and I've learned that the way that they're brought up and the seller has a lot to do with the health of the seahorse. That's why buy from breeders and whatever. But um, I just think some seahorses have problems that they are born with or they have brought and won't get rid of. As far as you saw they wanted to have a meetup, is there seahorse meetup? I don't know. I can definitely find out. Um, I will bug Kevin and find out as soon as possible, because that would be really awesome if we could have some sort of I'm ticked off. I was going through the old forums and the old um stuff online, and I saw that they used to do, like, cruises. Like, seahorse people used to get together and do cruises, and that is, like, awesome. And it just seems like if you really look at the past forums and such, that they were so popular, and then they had this dramatic decrease, and then now they're kinda coming back up, but there's just so much bad information out there. It's such a struggle. I really wish that we could start having meetups. I think that'd be done, Kevin. Okay. Well, anyways, let me know. If you find out before me, I want to know, because I will definitely be there and I'll definitely help any way that I can. Um, you got three small seahorses, Michigan fan. Um, you know, I think the guideline is that they have to be sexed and they have to be, weaned on frozen. I don't think there is a guideline for size. I always say try to go 3 to 4 inches. I'm sorry you got small seahorses. Um, I don't know what to say. I'm glad that you fed them extra. And hey, since I have a couple coral people here, what I wanted to know, because I'm going to repeat myself, sorry, but I wanted to know what your motivation is. Really seriously, I want to know what motivates you to keep going. Because a reef system is so much harder than a seahorse tank, frankly. Because you've got the coral, you've got the parameters, you've got like if you use different system things in your sump, like me, I use Miracle Mud that has to be changed out. I use macros and so on. And Michigan fan, that's actually, I'm sorry to keep going back and forth, guys, but Michigan fan, that's actually something that I plan to use. You're giving away my tips, but that's a great tip to if you have a seahorse that is not eating well, or a tiny baby seahorse in the breeding series. I'll be talking about using a larger seahorse to get them to start eating. Works every time. So I'm glad that you knew to do that. And I'm glad to have you on this channel. And if you ever want to help and get up here with me, I'm sending the invitation now. But my opinion has a reef tank, but it's a pain in the yeah. boats because the U.S. Fish and Wildlife laws and CITES laws. Well, they weren't taking okay, so on the cruises, they weren't taking the seahorses on the cruises, silly. It was just seahorse people getting together, and if you were asking me if I could bring seahorses to Mackinac, well, I probably could because I do have a tank of seahorses that I've been hanging on to and not selling and are getting too big and outgrowing the tank. But what I was really talking about is just the get-togethers. They used to have, I mean, there's no reason seahorse people can't get on a boat together and have a cruise. I thought that's what they did. Maybe they had real seahorses. You probably know better than me. But I just saw that they used to have get-togethers, whether it be an extravagant cruise or at least, meetings in the UK. They have meetings. Um, they get together and they actually meet and talk about the latest stuff that's seahorse. And we do have MBI, Marine Breeding Initiative, yes. And I go every year and it's amazing, but it's more focused on um larval fish in general, anybody breeding anything in the hobby, so it's not focused on seahorses. I just wish that they would do, seahorse meetings again. Maybe I should start them up. Maybe I should start a seahorse club. What do y'all think? Okay. Um, anyways, let me go back here, trying to keep up. Um, I hope y'all have your wine. Okay. I do. Trying to keep up. Um, all right. So let's see. Um, My opinion, his reef tanks, is a pain in the ass, so is mine. That's why I wanna take it down, like, every other week. I think about taking that tank down. I literally put up, posts all over Facebook that I was gonna sell it, and, um, literally had somebody coming to buy stuff, and he got halfway here, and I said, "I can't do it. I can't sell my tank." And so I ended up selling him a bunch of coral. I sold my big clam, which I still miss. But I couldn't sell the tank, I just couldn't give it up, and I will get to the questions, but that's I keep trying to say it and not spitting it out. I was thinking about why I don't take down my reef tank, and I seriously think that it's a great comparison to life because we have all these hurdles and we overcome them, and when you do overcome them, there's this sense of accomplishment, and the reef tank is just like life because no matter what you do, there's always something going wrong, um, not always. It's beautiful and wonderful for a while, but that's if you don't add anything, don't change anything, and then the darn corals go and change on you. Then they grow. I mean, obviously the focus is to grow, but if you're not selling coral, they grow and then, that changes everything, and my tank's going through a change right now, and I'm like, "Ah, do I wanna go through this again?" And I do, of course, because it's a passion. I love this hobby. I can't get it out of my blood. So, I just wondered if you guys I'm sorry, the real question was, why do you think that some people stay and some people go? Like, I literally cannot take down my reef tank, even though I kinda want to sometimes. Just put that hassle out of my way. And I just wondered, I think that it's the type of people that we are. I think we're awesome. I think reef keepers and seahorse keepers are the bomb. And we just have this passion that some people don't have. And we will not let us beat us. That didn't make sense. But that's why I keep doing this stupid live thing too. Nobody cares about live except for Kelly. And the reason I care is because I'm not letting it beat me. So, all right. I'm going to look at questions now. Um, I'm going to MACNA as a visitor. I went last year as a vendor with SB Reflights, and it was great. It was fun. But this year, but I kind of felt honestly, last year was my first MACNA, and it was an experience, and I wasn't quite ready for it. And the first night, I may have or may not have um, had a little too much fun. And so then the next day, I got up and everybody was gone from the hotel. And I hurried over to the convention, and I mean, when I say next day, I mean it was like 1. And I got there, and of course, the SB Reflights crew were not upset with me. I was not there to really do anything. They were really doing me a favor by giving me the vendor pass, and but I wanted to help. I mean, they got me this pass. And so, I learned my lesson, and the next day was a little better. But this year is gonna be totally different. I'm gonna go to um, the talks more. If we figure out how to do something with seahorses, I'm going to that for sure. And but I did go as a vendor last year, but I didn't do much as a vendor. I pretty much sucked and let them down completely. I felt really bad. So this year I'll be a visitor and be hanging with everybody. And let's see. Your kids keep you in the hobby, Michigan fan. And that's funny you said that. I want to know more about that because if you mean that a like you're teaching them, then that's awesome. But my kids, my children, and my significant other would love for me to take down my reef tank. I'll just tell you. They're not as supportive and I mean, to be fair, it's because I am so passionate about these things that if there's a seahorse in trouble, or if my reef tank is having an issue, or if there's a coral that's whatever, stinging another coral, life stops. Kelly's gotta go deal with the tanks. And so maybe it's just because of the way that I behave about my tanks. I'm trying to take some of this on me, but yeah, I don't my kids would love for me to take on my tank. So I'd like to hear why your kids keep you in the hobby because they need to talk to my kids, okay? And what macros would I recommend to start in a seahorse tank? No. I think you have asked me that on another, page, and I am pretty clear, and I will be talking more about that in oh, I'm sorry. I see that Michigan Van said seagrass and spaghetti algae in a seahorse tank? Um, well, I'm gonna disagree. Sorry, but not disagree, not disagree. I have a different opinion, and that no opinion's wrong. For the record, no opinion's wrong. There's so many ways to do things. That's part of the trouble here in helping new people. But seagrass needs a lot of light. It's very strong light. And I like to do macro tanks with seahorses, but I usually you'll notice if you look at my stuff that I usually use low light macros or use, rock or whatever to make sure that it's up high so that it's near the light because I don't want a strong light on the seahorses. With LEDs, we don't have much, gosh, I'm sorry. With LEDs, we don't have as much fear about them heating the tank, but I just think the bright light and the processes and I don't know. I try to stay away from things that require tons of light because it will grow algae on the seahorses, and I don't like algae on the seahorses. If you're really, really good at saltwater, okay, that's different. If you're using like a Miracle Mud reoccurring system, ecosystem type thing, where you want that completely natural, then you're right up your out. You're doing the right thing. But I just personally stay away from anything that takes a lot of light. As far as coral, nothing that stings, please, nothing that stings. The only coral and I actually had forgotten that they were there, so I think it was you that reminded me and helped me realize that I was telling people don't put coral in seahorse tanks, and here I am with gorgonians. Um, Gorgonians are probably the only thing, mushrooms maybe, and the big word of the day is quarantine. Quarantine. You quarantine things so that any of the problems that come along with hitchhikers, coral, etc., can be eliminated before you put them in the tank. So, um, what seagrass and canomorpha, if that's what you mean by spaghetti algae, those are things that I personally use in a sump. I use both of those in different sumps in my house, and if you use them in tanks, awesome, whatever. But I just personally stay away from things that require highlight and, yeah, so the answer to the question, sorry, was that I personally only keep, Gorgonian. The only thing that I would keep besides that is mushrooms, and I would make sure that they were quarantined properly so that they didn't bring anything to the tank. Because not just pathogens, like bacteria stuff, parasite stuff, not just, and actually, to be honest, I heard that a lot of the things coming out of certain parts of the ocean right now are contaminated with certain things. And I'm not going to go any further because I shouldn't have said that. But um, just quarantine. That's the bottom line. If you quarantine, you make sure that you are not having. Oh, sea whip gorgonians. Why is that? I don't know why it told me to. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sea whip and finger gorgonians. Yes, I keep those too. And I don't know why. I honestly, this is not technical or advanced science here, but I just think that I would be able to see any kind of hitchhikers a little better on a gorgonian. Like you're not going to have a bristleworm um, on a gorgonian, I guess. Um, and I quarantine everything now. So I have a chance to look out for Aptasia. I have a chance to look out for all of those things and get them off. No, no, no. I know seagrass isn't a macroalgae. I was saying seagrass needs highlight, and I stay away from things that require highlight. If I said it was a macro, I'm sorry. I am still a little nervous, but okay, I'm looking. Um, so I'm going as a visitor to Macna, and oh, so you've got red slime. Oh, geez. That's the worst. I'll tell you, if you watch my Reef series videos, I'm going to cover how I got rid of, let's see, I had dinos. I had, um, I can't think of the proper name for red slime. Jeez, somebody help me here. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Sean, what's the red bad algae? What's the red bad algae? I can't remember the name of it. I'm eating olives too. The red algae that gets all over everything. I can't believe I can't think of it. Okay, now my opinion's really gonna make fun of me. It's over. I cannot do technical terms. Cyano. Thank you. Cyanobacteria. Okay, thank you, Sean. Thank you, Michigan fan. Sorry. I am terrible. What's funny is I'm even worse with names. So yeah, I'm terrible with technical terms and names, sorry. But you were there last year at Magna. Oh my gosh. Well, this year, when you see me, come up and say hi. And I'm being serious. Please come say hi. I want to get to know the people that I'm talking to. That's awesome. You are going this year, right? To Magna, I think you said. I'll have to look again, but and you watch the speakers. See, that's when I went to, well, we'll have a little Magna chat now. So when I went to Magna, I told you I screwed up on the vendor part. And I also screwed up because I went upstairs. My whole goal was to hear those speakers. And I went upstairs and I sat through the first one. And then someone told me that they were being taped. I saw that they were being taped. And someone told me that I would be able to see them. So why not go downstairs and enjoy the show? And I don't know if they were, just being mean or what, but I went downstairs and I didn't listen to any of the other speakers because I thought that I was going to be able to literally like buy a video of them or something. And then I found out that I wasn't going to get to see them for like 3 months. I was so pissed because I'm glad that you got to see the speakers last year, and you can bet you'll find me up there listening to speakers this year because I was really upset that I missed it because that's one of the biggest cool things that you can. Yeah, Julian Sprung was there, and yeah, you get to. The really cool thing about going to these shows is not just getting coral. Like I'm going, it's in Las Vegas this year. I'm coming from Indiana. I'm not gonna be trying to get coral on planes likely. So I'm not even there for the coral. I mean, I like seeing it, but it's a connection thing. I got to meet so many people last year that, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, people that you look up to, people that see on these videos, they're all there. They're all there. And people that really know what they're talking about specific issues, you can corner them and ask them, and they'll help you. They're the nicest people, and they remember what it's like to be new. And so don't be afraid to talk to these people because they want to help you. Um, okay. And I keep talking and getting sidetracked. I'm so sorry. But I was talking about cyanobacteria. ChemiClean is what I use on seahorse tanks, absolutely. But I use something different on my reef. I used an entire program because I had cyano, I had dinos, I mean, diatoms were like, am I saying that correctly? Diatoms. Well, whatever. They were, I'll show you pictures. The reef tank was a disaster. And then I met Cruz and he became my mentor and he taught me some things. And, I'm going to show you in the videos. And whether you agree or disagree with the methods, the bottom line is my reef tank has never had those issues again. With the seahorse tanks, because they're such high nutrient systems, I have had to use ChemiClean repeatedly, multiple times. And so I'm actually setting up a tank and trying something new, a miracle mud setup that I'll be showing you guys as I do it. But we'll see how that goes. So, and I will be in the reef series covering the methods that helped my tank get rid of some of those problematic algae. Algae isn't a word. Algae, whatever. I'm terrible with names. We've covered that. But I'll be covering the methods that I use to get rid of that stuff. So, let's see. Have more wine and relax. I'm trying. I know you're watching and you make fun of me for being terrible with words. All right. Mm, Coral vids, you posted it. Okay, cool. I will post in some of the other groups because who's to say we can't plan it? Really, seriously. I was kind of kidding when I said I would do it. But if you want to get with me and some other people and plan something for MACNA, let's do it. I'm in. I want to do it. And this is your 9th MACNA. I'm jealous. I am extremely jealous. I don't plan on missing one ever again. There were some problems. Aside from my problems with going on Bourbon Street and not wanting to get up the next day. But there were also problems just with the setup. Having the vendor perspective was very interesting. Ooh, I have another thing we could talk about. And I'm not going to go on for very much longer. I do need to announce who won the coral or the pod contest, but let me see what else has been said here. Doo-doo-doo. Yes, my opinion. BRS did tape them, the MACNA speakers. But that was my point, is when the person upstairs, I wouldn't know if I saw him again, but it was a guy, jerk. Just kidding. But no, I'm not kidding. Jerk. He told me to go downstairs and enjoy the show or the actual MACNA because he said that he made it sound like I would be able to literally buy a DVD cassette or not. Geez, my words are failing me. He told me I would be able to buy a copy of the videos directly leaving MACNA. I thought I was going to be able to take it home with me and have those right then. And instead, I had to wait. BRS did release those videos, but it was, month after month. It took 3 months for them to get them all out. And I really wanted to hear the words. So, all right. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, they are all on Masna's site. I'm just saying if the talks are what you're interested in, then or if there's specific talks that you want to see now, that's all I'm trying to say because they do an excellent job. I wasn't trying to make a put down. They do an excellent job of getting the information out there. I just was bummed because that was my focus in going, and I just screwed up. I'm just talking about my screw up. And I've watched them since too, and they are fabulous. They did a great job. Michigan fan. I'm actually from Michigan originally. And yes, I'm in Indiana. So we're seriously gonna have to get together on this Seahorse Club thing. For real. Get with me after the show. Um, I gotta quit saying too. Ah. Okay, Coral Vids, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Hopefully this will get better. I'll get rid of the and if there's anything you guys can think of that we should, that would be fun to talk about. I mean, if there's a problem that you're having, I can try to get somebody up here that knows more than me about that problem. Or we can just, I'm kind of feeling my way through this to see how we could just make this a fun thing to do. Just chat, But let me get my um let me get the winner. 10 seconds. I'm sorry. Live. That's such a bad thing. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, guys. So sorry. Okay. So I've got all the names listed here. Dun 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 dun. Tanya. We have to be unbiased and pick. You have to come pick a winner of the Reef Nutrition Copepod contest. Woo! I don't have any music. It's live. Okay. All right. So, okay. Let's see. Sorry. Nope, wrong one. So sorry. Should have been more prepared. Sigh, sigh, sigh. Okay, so what we're going to do is these are the people that shared it. And I'm going to show you the names, and you're just going to tell me which name. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there's that name. And I'll go, you can scroll back through, but there's that name. That's the top. And then obviously not me. I'd love to win, but it wouldn't be very fair. So that's her. And then she can't win, so we'll leave her out. But then there's this person, this person, this person. There's a lot of people. So what you could do is just go and pick one. Just don't close it and make sure it's not me. I don't think Chad would like that if I won, and you guys really should check out his videos. They're long. It was my first interview, and I was new to testing, or I was new to interviewing. I was new with the Skype thing, so they're very long. But he is a gold mine of information. He is brilliant and knows so much about live feeds. And I mean, I was afraid to attempt some of the things that I'm now setting up until I met and talked with Chad. He's very supportive and he knows so much. So really watch the videos, and he's just a nice guy. I mean, like, he let me post those videos that were just, not great.
This person.
Okay, let's see who you picked. Lucy. Well, and I'm drinking Lucy's French wine. Lucy Arawana won, and I swear she didn't know who that was. But Lucy, you have won the Copepod contest. Cheers. All right, go.
Wow.
So, Lucy, either let me know your information, send it to me, or I can give you Chad's and you can send it to him. But you will and I want to see. Now I know I'm actually glad she picked you, and I swear I didn't know, but I want to see what you do with them because I know you'll do something cool. And I'm sorry, Michigan fan. We'll have more contests. I promise. You never know. Maybe I'll give away a seahorse. We'll have to see. The people that hang with me like this, I appreciate you, and we're gonna do cool things. I do have lots of ideas. I just had to figure that out. So thank you for hanging out with me and figuring out how to do this. And I am gonna close for tonight. But if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, or you want me to get somebody up here to talk about, or if you just want to chit chat, whatever you guys want to do, I'm gonna be here every Wednesday, now that I know how to do it, at 8 o'clock, and I'll have some things to talk about. Try to get rid of my ums. But this was fun for me. So they would go straight. to your seahorse's belly. Well, Michigan fan Lucy has dwarfs, so, I'm trying to get some of her dwarfs actually, so, but this was not a setup, I promise you guys. If you knew me, you'd know how honest I would be. Yes, my opinion, I tried very hard to go live yesterday, and it did not work out for me, and I told this at the beginning. I was super surprised because I was looking into, like, buying software and a coder and blah, 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 so that I could, try to do this, and then when I logged on today, YouTube had extended my account and said that I could now use the camera and not need an encoding software. So I was like, "Yes." So now I know how to do it. I do, and so it'll be Wednesday from now on, Wine Wednesday. We were just practicing. You're helping me practice. And I'll have a few better topics that can be followed a little bit better, but um just wanted to make sure I could do it. And I can. Yay. Heard I've jumped that hurdle, have I not? Passionate people. All right, so I'm gonna sign off and say cheers, and Wednesdays at 8, I'm gonna be here talking to myself until you guys come talk to me. So, are they really doing Wednesday already? Oh, well, I might send you a message, my opinion, because maybe I'll change it. I really like the Wine Wednesday thing, but we'll see. For now, it's Wednesday at 8. If we change it, I will obviously let you know, but I'm gonna sign off, and how do I sign? Okay, and thank you guys for joining me. Cheers to you all.